Okay, this is a video for Lab5 part 2, the drafting application. So continue from part 1, we made this assembly, and next step is we are going to create a drafting so that you can show this to manufacturer or the workers. Are you gonna, if you're going to manufacture this? Okay, so how do we start this? And it's the same. First, let me say that it's the same for assembly and part. So if you want to create a drafting for a part, that's the same procedure as you creating a drafting for an assembly. Because as we know, the assembly and the parts are basically the same file. So let's start drafting by clicking this start button, and you can see drafting in here. Okay, once you click this, you will see this. This is your drafting dialog box. You can choose different size of your sheet. It depends on the metric or inch. If you're on inch, it will be this kind of size. If you're on metric, you will have like A1, A2, A0, those kind of paper size. And you can use template, which if you do this a lot, you can create a template for your specific handy, how do you call this, head, yeah, maybe the paper head, those kind of thing. So now if you use template, you would have a Siemens, okay, Siemens template, and we can use standard. Let's try template. Template, the smallest size is A. This thing is pretty small, so we'll choose that. And here you can have two different options. Okay, so after you click OK, you can have a creation wizard, which will take you step by step, like which view you want, how many views you want, or you can use base view command. It will basically just give you one dialog box. So let's try this. We can use them in drafting anyway, so it doesn't matter which one you choose. So once you click OK, and you can see we are in this like paper-like application, and this window is specifically for the template, like here, first issued. Okay, if you choose standard paper, okay, you don't have this window come up, and you can type in it now, like, and or you can type in it later. Alright, so now we're in this paper, in the drafting, and this is your base view option. If you chose wizard, it will have a more fancier window come out. So apparently this one is, the paper is too small for our part. We can drop this first. Just click here. Okay, and you can see we can pull to the side to have different views. And for now, I'm okay with only one view. Okay, so we need to change the size of your sheet. We can go to Part Navigator, and here you can see we have this sheet. Okay, if you double click, that takes us back to this sheet option. You can change that to a bigger size, and now you can drag this view to wherever you want. Maybe make it bigger so we can have a front view. Okay, now that's the square around this indicates this is one viewport or view, okay, which is here. And if you want to add another one, you have this option, base view, that will give you a independent view. That's not related to this this view, or you can use this command, projected view. This will give you a related view to whichever view you are picking up. Okay, so if we put this view here and click close, and let me drag this one, as you can see they are related. And if you use base view and choose front view from here, even though we put the same location, right? If you drag this view, you can tell those two are not related. You can also tell from this part navigator that this projected view is related to this top view here. They have different icons. Alright, that's how you can insert different views. And as we said, the wizard, so basically that's your wizard. You can first choose a part, then choose like lines, what kind of preview style you want, the orientation, which view you want. You can pick multiple views to put in this paper. So I'm gonna just leave that alone. So this is your drafting. Then let's see. Some people will ask if I turn off that first window, right? How can I modify this? I think this is somewhere in here. However, maybe sheet. So you can find them deep down inside here somewhere, or maybe right click, see property, or anyway, it's somewhere in here. We'll just go straight ahead, skip this. You can Google it, and I found that from Googling. And alright, now next is the well, let's first talk about the dimensions, right? You want dimensions in your drafting, and again, we can use infer dimension, the same as your sketch, and it's pretty simple. If you click on a hole, it will give you a diameter or radius, because we will click on the cylindrical face. This is not a 2D. Well, this is a 2D drafting, but in fact, this is inside the computer is a 3D geometry. So if you hover your mouse on top of this, right, you can pick the face, which is perpendicular to our sheet. So that will give you something like this, which you will not see in the sketch. Okay, it will also give you some normal diameter, the format of diameter. So let's say we first put it here, and you can pick this line. That's the diameter. If you want to pick, say, the distance between those two, just click those two, and you have this distance between two objects. And if you remember how we made this, it's actually a radius between that. It might be hard to put a radius here, but in the part you can actually show the sketch, and you will see the sketch here, and you can find that geometry. Anyway, so it's basically the same as a sketch, okay? And for assembly, your dimension don't have to be so detailed as a individual part. So usually we need a total length, total width. So that's how tall this thing will be, okay, in total. And it's like a footstep of this then you might want to show some hole dimensions. So the assembly dimension, like this hole will be a 1/4 inch in diameter. That means your rivets, your nut should be a 1/4 inch, and the total height. Okay, so this is how you put in dimensions. And maybe we should mention this one, cylindrical diameter. So if you want to put, the wheel is a cylinder, right? But on this view, it's actually a box. If you think of this as a 2D geometry. If you use inferred dimension, there's no way you can put a diameter sign in front of this number, right? So I'm gonna delete this, and you can use this cylindrical dimension, a cylindrical diameter. Pull this out, so you will have this sign in front of this number. All right, and import. And okay, if let's say, remember in Sketch you have a lot of dimensions, right? Let's make this displayed parts. So for this part, and in the Sketch, we already have a lot of dimensions in the Sketch. And when you do the drafting, okay, so we're still in drafting. We can go back to modeling, then go to drafting. You ask for paper size. Try size C. This time no template. Base view command. Then put it down. Projected from the side. Okay, and notice it's not a template, so there's nothing here. And for this view, right, and we have a sketch, and this is a part drafting instead of an assembly drafting. So you want really detailed dimensions, and sometimes even, well, in reality, the tolerance, you have to have them for manufacturing. Anyway, so this command, the feature parameters, since you already have dimension for this in the sketch for this part, you don't have to add so many dimensions to this part. You can find your sketch. I think that's the second sketch in this case. Probably the first. Let's try it. Then, okay, select the views. I have two views, right? I have a sketch for this, so I'll select here. You can select which view. I think it's this one, top one. Click OK. See, the dimension is imported from your sketch, which is this one. If you want to look at it, you can go back, show this sketch. This is the dimension in the sketch when you made this model, right? And we can import them into your drafting, so you don't have to like redo all the dimensions here. Alright, now let's go back to this assembly. Okay, and as I said, the position of the host is actually on a circle. So if you look at this, you can add this radius here. Okay, now next step, we need to format the dimensions. For example, some of the dimensions are in fraction. Okay, and you don't want to see, for example, this dimension, it's actually rounded up from a more accurate number. So how do we change the format of a dimension? The overall option or overall setting is in here, preference, annotation. Okay, you have a lot of options here. What you need is character size. That's the size of your numbers. You can change that, make it bigger. Then there's unit. Okay, so in unit you can find this format. You can use fractional, or you can use decimal, and also you can change your decimal point back to this a dot instead of this a comma. Okay, I believe a lot of people are not used to the comma, which the Germany use. Okay, well, let's try this format, and you want some precision or accuracy on this. So precision for this fractional is now at 1/16. So if you have something like 1/32, it will not show. It's probably rounded up to 1/16. So you can pick a more accurate precision for your dimension and click OK. See what happens here. Actually, nothing happened. Why? Because that's made before you make the change. So now if I add another dimension for the same thing, you would have this. So what about the dimension I already made? Okay, you can pick it up. There's style command in the style, and you can see it's the same thing as the annotation setting. You can change this to whatever you want. Okay, now they're the same. And I guess that's all for the dimension, the format of annotation. And sometimes you would want a isometric view for your model. And if you distribute this drafting on the net or on computers, you probably want like some colorful drawings, right? So you can click on the view. You have this style command again, or you can right click on your view. You can find this style. And by the way, edit, you can go back and change things around. You can change the orientation like so. Okay, I'm going to take that back, right click a style. Then here, now it's static wireframe. We can go to shading. This is a wireframe. You can change that to fully shaded and apply. So now you have a drafting. However, on this isometric view, you can have some shading and indicating this the round shape. If you have some geometry without iso lines, you would need sometimes you need a shaded. Okay, like from here, you don't know it's concave or it's coming out. Okay. So that's how you change the shading of rendering option of a view. Okay. Next, let's talk about the cross section. Cross section, which maybe this part might be a better option example for this. So in this part, I want to see what's inside of this part. And also, first let's hide the sketch. And as you can see, it's hidden from this drafting also. Okay. All right. Now, sometimes you want to cut it open. And let's use this section view. Okay. This is the most basic section views. Sometimes you can have a half section, or you can have some revolved section. So we're going to introduce this the most basic section view. Just cut the whole thing open. So here, first, it asks you to pick a view. We have two views here. Which one you want to cut? So you want to pick this view by clicking on the box. This box will not show on the printed drafting. It will only show on the computer screen. So if you click this box, this menu changed. Now we have this hinge line, sorry. So hinge line, and now it's in inferred, right? Infer, you can just let's say click this center, then you can pull to the right, pull to the left, and that's your cut from the right center. And what about something other than that? What about I want to cut like this place, and this it's so hard to align, right? To make it align with this. How do we do that? Let's change this. We can change this to a define hinge line instead of this infer. And when you want to define this hinge line, it will ask for a vector. So this vector, you have a lot of options. For this application, we can use 2 points. So you define the cut by define 2 points. So we can maybe cut it here, this side and this side. So it will be a nice symmetric cut for this particular position. Then that's your cut here. So that's the how do you make this section views, and how do you define where the cut will be. Okay, now if you look at this, sometimes you don't want to see this part. I can make this shaded. You would see different. So the yellow part is your the intersection of the cutting plane with to your solid body, but you're looking at some geometry behind this cutting plane, right? Sometimes I just want to see the cross section itself. I don't want to see any geometry behind that. So I'm gonna take this back to wireframe, and since we are already in here, this style menu for this particular view, there's a section tab, and in here you have this background. If we uncheck this background and click apply, that's our clear cut. Okay, that's the area where the cutting plane meets your solid without anything behind it. Okay, and now you can see the difference. That's a clear cut. That's the cross section with some 3D geometry behind it. Okay, so you can define how you want your cross section to be. And that's the fraction annotation. I think that's all for this drafting part. The drafting is actually very complicated. Inside you have, especially when you start to use all those tolerance, the datums, the roughness, those kind of things, you have to practice a lot. You have to sometimes Google, find the all kinds of weird command in NX. So I hope you enjoy the lab. Thank you.